What's up, guys? Welcome back to another trade recap. Today, unfortunately, I took a loss on Nasdaq. I'm down about $900 and it's been a rough month. But nonetheless, I'm still going to explain my trade to you guys. I'm still going to go over all the processes I used, all the thinking that was going on inside my head, and just everything that led me to take this trade. And then after I do that, I'm going to go over how I could have improved, some things that maybe could have avoided this loss, or potentially even how I could have taken a win today. And yeah, let's get into it. So the very first thing, okay, so today, obviously, market opened. I was marking out all my key levels, and we had this set of highs here. We had all of these highs up here. However, I like marking these out. This shouldn't be here, but marking these out, I kind of just marked them, and I kind of knew price wasn't going to get up there, but there's still a lot of low resistance, smooth liquidity up here that I wanted to target, so I marked those out. And then obviously to the downside, right here, this is low resistance liquidity. But apparently today we wanted to take out this liquidity right here. So what did we do? And I also marked out these. These were London highs. So what did we do? We moved up a bit, swept out London highs, and then reversed down to London lows. Overall, yeah, it was a weird day because looking for my trade after I'd marked out all my key levels, market opened, we immediately took out London highs, made actually on ES. We made a 5-minute fair value gap. We retraced into it, and I know it might be hard to see because this candle's in the way, but during this candle, before my entry, we retraced into it, and then kind of closed on this kind of very bullish looking candle. And on Nasdaq, we actually did close a bullish candle. So seeing that, I was like, well, we already moved up. We got our 5-minute retrace. We have all of these highs up here. ES was even closer to those highs, I believe. If I can find it. Yeah, look, ES actually swept those highs later in the day, right there. But yeah, ES was close to these highs. Nasdaq was the leading index, and I was like, yo, this is looking like a pretty good setup. So what I do, here's what I did. I marked out this fair value gap right here, and I waited for the inverse. I entered right on the inverse, and boom, we got stopped out within freaking 5 minutes. However, if you guys don't know about time theory is basically explaining that when the market opens at New York Open, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, there is a 20-minute manipulation, and then the next 20 minutes is usually the start or the fulfillment of a reversal. So that kind of time frame opens at 9:50, 8:50 Central Time, and I entered right at 9:52 Eastern Time, and yeah, unfortunately took a loss. You can see we even had a 1-minute SMT between Nasdaq and ES on this right here, this line. So tough loss. Overall, psychologically, when I was in the trade, I was great. I was chilling. I let it play out. I was calm, relaxed. Even my execution, I wasn't frantic. I wasn't afraid of entering. I wasn't scared of losing money. I kind of just was normal. So that was really good. But the problem with the trade today was my beforehand kind of analysis and mental framework going into today. I wanted to take a trade. I was rushing things. I honestly just really wanted to get in the markets. And when you really want to get into the markets, you end up doing things that you probably shouldn't do. And that was, for me, today, taking a trade that I probably shouldn't have taken. So some things that I could have changed were I traded basically off of no liquidity sweep. Yes, we had a 1-minute SMT, but there was still no liquidity sweep to change direction. And one of the biggest things that I kind of disregarded today that I should have kept in mind was when the market opens, we want to see it move one direction and then reverse back to another direction. And we did that today. However, I didn't catch the move. See, we push up, sweep London highs, and then reverse lower to London lows. This trade, trading to these London lows right here, that would have been the trade today. If I would have taken that trade, I would have made money. So how would I have entered on that? Let's see. Oops. Right here, right? Nasdaq, 3 lower highs, right? ES. Can pull it up. This keeps resetting. Higher highs, right? This is a 5-minute SMT from that high to that high, right there. And then on Nasdaq, we can obviously see that it was the leading index, right? So this would have been another entry that unfortunately I didn't take. I didn't really want to risk more money, and I just wasn't comfortable with it. Yeah, but I probably, if I would have taken that, would have entered off that 5-minute SMT. That's a great confluence, and then I would have entered probably down here off of the breakup structure. That would have been a great entry for today. You can obviously see we had relative equal lows to target. We had all of this liquidity in here to target, and that would have been an amazing entry. And then I probably would have been stopped out at break even up here. However, there is still a potential you could have caught a move in here that would have sent you all the way down to these lows. But yeah, shorts probably would have been the better play today. However, I was super drawn to these highs since they were stacked up and we were already moving in that direction. But yeah, it's a lesson learned, you know. My total, we can see here, my total January P&L finished is negative $1,652. That kind of sucks. It is what it is. Tough losing month. You can see my win rate was 50%. Obviously not optimal. I'd want a higher win rate than that. But it is what it is. Again, at the end of the day, I can't change what's in the past. I can only change what's in the future. So going into February, I'm going to be more patient. I'm going to be more focused on quality over quantity, and I'm just going to wait for the setups to come to me. I'm going to hopefully dial in on my liquidity sweeps and all of that stuff more so that I can really understand where the market's going and how it's moving. And I want to show you guys an example of this. What I was trying to do today was kind of catch a move like I saw the other day. When was it? Let me find it. I think it was it Tuesday? Yeah, I marked this out. Tuesday, right? We obviously market opened. We ripped down into this imbalance right here on the 5 minute. If I go on the 5 minute, this is an imbalance right here. All of this price. That's a big imbalance. Right all through here. And what did price do? It came, it swept liquidity, all of this liquidity, filled that imbalance, and then reversed higher. This is a reasonable trade to take based off of the concepts that I was trying to trade on. This is a different entry than my normal entries. However, this is still a A+ entry because we swept liquidity. That's the most important part. We swept liquidity in an imbalance, which is even better. We reversed. You can obviously see that the 1 minute turns bullish here. And then we respect a 1 minute fair value gap and move higher. On top of that, we have all of these stacked up highs. All of this smooth liquidity right here to the upside. This is an entry. This was the type of entry that I was trying to take today. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out. And unfortunately, my liquidity and my concept of where the market was going to go was wrong. I was wrong, and that's okay. But 900 on the day, that's still a relatively normal loss, slightly larger than these losses. These are $700 is about a normal loss for me. So this is slightly larger, but it is what it is. Rough trading month. But you know, it is what it is. So yeah, I already said going into February, I'm gonna try and improve. And yeah, I hope you guys are doing great. There's been a ton of volatility in the markets recently, In fact, silver today actually moved down, 30%. Gold was down about 10%. It's recovered a little bit. Um, Bitcoin moved down, I think, 15% yesterday. A lot of stocks are down, indexes are down, obviously. We had that huge sell-off yesterday here. Um, how many points? That was a pretty decent point move. Yeah, 600 points. Yeah, it's been a rough month. I think for a lot of people, it's been very weird price action, but hopefully we can figure it out going into February. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know down in the comments. I'm glad to help. Or if you have anything more personal, or you just want to connect with me one-on-one, reach out to me on Instagram. I'll DM you back as soon as possible. And I'm just trying to help you guys. So yeah, I'll have a video coming out for you guys this weekend. And hopefully next week we can take some wins and I can have some more trade recaps for y'all. But I'll see you guys next time.